Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. I'm Rhoda, if you don't know that already. Today I'm going to talk about something that has been on my mind, and I'm pretty sure it's been on the mind of many of you. I was actually going to film a mindfulness video of how to be more mindful in your life, but looking at the circumstances, I decided that I wanted to actually talk about and talk through the things that are happening. Not so much the facts, not so much the anger or the outrage, but more about what we can do, what I can do, what you can do. Now, I'm not someone who knows all the answers. I'm definitely not someone who knows the answers. This is something I've been struggling with. I've been trying to think of. I've been hoping that I come up with things that I personally can do. And I just wanted to share with you certain things because I don't know, I just want to make this video because there's just so much talk about anger, outrage, frustration against so many different individuals in our own country of India. And I just feel helpless sometimes, and I know that you feel helpless too. That's the whole point of my channel. I want my channel to be relevant to our times, relevant to what we are going through as people right now in our respective countries, and also it should give some value to you, that you come with certain questions and hopefully I can help you. And so, thinking of these two things in mind, I definitely wanted to make this video. Not that I have any answers specifically. I'm just hoping that through this video you will find that one thing that you can do as an individual to make things better, because the way things are, even a small act of kindness is going to go a long way. And I know I personally also feel the same way, that everything is too big. Like, the problems are too big, the issues are too big, the people involved in these issues are too big. And I don't even want to go into the details of the issues I'm talking about, because if you are in this country, even if you're not in this country, you know what's going on. There's so much violence, so much exploitation, so much, I don't know, selfishness that's going around. And it seems too big to handle. It seems too big for someone like us to step into and decide to change. But I've been reading a lot of books and listening to a lot of speeches of people who have been important in certain times in history, who have changed the history of their nations, of humanity as a whole. And I found that most of these people are common man. They're just common, simple people who just had a certain set of values that they did not compromise on. And so I really want to encourage you, if you're feeling alone, if you're feeling too small, just know that you're not. Because even though the issues are big, even a small thing that you can do for people, for humanity, is going to be big in a way, because there's so much evil. Honestly, there's so much evil entrenched in our society that even if a few people decide to be good, I think a lot is going to change. And even if it doesn't, I think at least we tried. Because I cannot sit idle, I cannot sit helpless, I cannot sit as if waiting for something to happen to wake me up. Because I think the incident that happened in Jammu and Kashmir was a wake-up call enough for the entire nation. But I also know that people have taken a stand, and I think that's the wake-up call that we needed. And I feel that all our anger, all our frustration, all our sympathies, all our whatever we are feeling should get channelized into something, because I don't want this emotion or this disgust at society, disgust at people who are doing these things, to just stop at a disgust. Because talking is fine, talking is important, we need conversation, we need these things to come out in the open, we need people talking about it. But if it stays at that, I'm very afraid that that's going to be it. That a week later, people are going to forget about what happened. People are going to forget why it happened. People are going to forget who caused all of this to happen. And I know that we as individuals, we as common people, do not hold that power to change things in a big way as we see it. I also know that it is not only the government's job. It is the government's job. I'm not saying it isn't, but I'm also saying that it is our job as well to ensure that our society is not filled with these kind of people. Now, it's really, really strange to me because every single community in the world, regardless of which country they belong to, which religion they belong to, which area they belong to, whether they belong to rural or urban, every single community teaches their children love. I don't think anybody says do not love. Love for others is the basis of everything that we teach our children, that we teach our family members, that we want in our society. But somehow that love is nowhere to be found. I think there might be so many reasons why this has happened. I don't even know where to begin. But I feel wherever we are at, wherever you are, if you're in a school, teach your children love. Teach your children the values that you would want to see in the world. If you're a mother or a father, make sure your children, your family members are learning the same values that you expect from the world. Because I think somewhere we have compromised, or we've let others compromise and been silent, or we've just not done anything and expected the world to go on. But right now we see what the stakes are. So it becomes really important for us to realize that now, that whatever we are doing or not doing has an impact. The really, really scary thing is, this is not the first time these things are happening in the world. This is not the first time a group of people have exploited others. This is not the first time people are not seeing other people as humans, as equals. This has happened before, and these are lessons that we should have learned by now. And I was reading a book on the Second World War, and especially about Paris during the Second World War. And the thing that the author writes was, after the Second World War, people realized that they couldn't afford to not be engaged in society. They couldn't afford not to stand up and speak for others. They just couldn't afford it, and that was the lesson that they learned. But sadly, that lesson we still haven't learned, because we are not learning from the past. It's only when things like this are happening are we realizing the depth to which society has fallen. So I really want to encourage you to figure out where you stand in society, where your influence can be useful. If you're a filmmaker, it's through your films. If you're a writer, it's through your writing. If you're a journalist, it's again through your writing. If you are on social media, it's through your social media posts. If you're a teacher, it's through your education. If you're a mother, it's through your caregiving. Anywhere that you are, there is something that you can do to ensure that the evil that has just taken over the world does not continue. That's all I can tell you, because I can't get into specifics. I'm still trying to find out what I can do. But I can say that wherever you are, there is something that you can do. Because if you're a writer and you don't write about anything wrong that's happening, that means that you are equally to blame as the perpetrator. You're not writing about. You didn't write anything to stop it. I'm not saying your writing will stop it. I'm saying at least you could try. So whatever you're doing, think of what's at stake. Think of what would happen if you didn't do it. I think this kind of pressure is unfortunate but necessary. This kind of pressure is where things happen, and all I can tell you is, I hope that you take all the anger, all the frustration, all the helplessness that you have and you feel within you when you read these stories, and transfer them into something that sets a standard in our world through whatever it is that you have to do. And that's all I can think of right now. If I have more insights, if I talk to more people who have better ideas than me, I will definitely share it with you. Follow me on social media. I'll put my Instagram account somewhere here and my Facebook page so that you can like and follow my page, because I think we need to do something. I don't think we can sit, and I don't want this incident to die away from our minds, because it's very easy. Our minds are really fickle and we can easily forget it. Now it's in front of our face and it's there. So it is something that is affecting us. But once it goes away from the news, once it goes away from our minds, I don't want this thing that happened, these things that are happening, to just be things that happen. I want them, I desire them to be events that shape history in the future, that people would say that this is something that happened, this was something that was really sad that happened, but because of this, something grew out of this, something beautiful grew out of this, and that is my hope. And that is why I made this video. I hope that one thing from this video spoke to you, spoke to your heart, spoke to what you're feeling, spoke to what you're thinking about, spoke to what you need to do, because I think we need to rise up. We cannot afford to not be engaged in society anymore. We cannot afford to be silent, and we cannot afford to do nothing, because the stakes are too high.